Hey guys, so I'm in my car. I just finished a very brief YouTube on whether Nigerians are too smart, when it comes to native intelligence and kind of just being sharp, and sharp practices. Um, and as I was just talking about it, it's so funny because I put it as a topic that I wanted to discuss, but then I realized with what's going on um, with the Ikoyi building collapse that I feel like things have gotten to a point where it's too much. The cutting of corners, the being sharper than sharpest, sharper than the next, all for a rat race. And people hail it. It's almost like they hail it and they honestly, can I be honest with you? I don't feel like in Nigeria it is popular to work hard. Hard work doesn't pay. Even working smart, sometimes doesn't pay. Because no matter how smart you try to work, it all sometimes seems to boil down to who you know, how much money, well, let me correct that, how much power you have, yeah, and how much money you have. Um, that's it. Oh yeah, sorry. And how narcissistic and manipulative you can be to just stoke up people's sentiments in your favor, right? And so you see people manipulate culture to their favor when it matters, and you see people, go buck against it when it's to their advantage. Um, you see people cheat the system. You see people cut corners for themselves but speak out about it when it comes to somebody else. And so our legs are not equal, like they say. Some people have a long leg and others don't. Some don't even have a leg to stand on. I'm not surprised by the building collapse because in everything that we seem to do, we somehow seem to just want to feel like we get over on somebody by cutting corners, or by just everybody who seems to want to win. I talked in the last video about how sometimes it feels like your winning must be a zero-sum game. For me to win, you must lose. But people don't seem to realize that when I win, you can win too. You don't have to lose for me to win. And I don't have to lose for you to win. We can win together. And so, when I was talking about is our sharpness too much? It is. I don't even like, I feel like, I even post that video because it's such a rhetorical freaking question. It is too much. Over 34 people have lost their lives in the Ikoyi building collapse because of somebody being sharp. And it's not just that. The mechanic wants to be sharp, and so he gives you an inferior product, or he doesn't fix what he was supposed to fix, or he fixes it and spoils something else. And then when there's an accident on the road, you wonder, oh my God, why did it happen, God? It's because there's some wicked people in this world. Or let's go there. You're a caterer, and you want to save money and you buy cheap meat. There's some people on that table, and that inferior meat sends people home with runny tummy and sick from a day that was supposed to be a celebration. You've made your money, and some people, may have underlying conditions that make them, they're sick. Their food poisoning turn into something bigger, liver disease, kidney issues, whatever. And they're saying, God, they always say witches and wizards and enemies of progress and those people in my village, and sometimes it's just the everyday people around you. So it just makes me afraid, because the question is, how far do we have to go for us to stop being like this? There's no amount of money that should make you happy about somebody else's misfortune for your gain. There shouldn't be. And it's not just in Nigeria, all over the world. You see corporations that are making so much money at other people's expenses. You see big people all over the world pushing propaganda for things that are at the expense of the masses. It's the way of the world, I guess. The world can be a wicked place, but it doesn't have to be. And like, I don't want this to be all dark. Honestly, I am so happy when I saw that there was a company that spoke out and said, we're removing our name from this project. We are not going to be associated with a project that engages in substandard activities. They specifically said, you didn't share with us the test results for the concrete test. You didn't do that. And because you didn't do that, we can't keep our name on this project. We can only speak for the 2 buildings that we did in the right way. And we are not going to claim this building that you cut corners on. And it takes courage to do what is right, even at your own expense, right? It's not courageous to do what is right when you're rewarded for it. It's not courageous to do what is right when everybody sees it as heroic. It is courageous to do what is right when it is at your expense. When you have so much to lose, but you still stand up for what is right, that is courage. So I was happy to see that. And I'm also happy, like, I feel like we're getting to a tipping point. We're getting a critical mass of people, and I hope we're getting a critical mass of people to call out the BS. I remember when I was in school, so I went to a school for 1 year where it was so different from what I experienced in my other school. I'd gone to Catholic school for so long, and in that school, it was popular to be good. It was popular to be smart. It was popular to be the teacher's pet. It was popular to be number 1 in class. And I got to this other school. It was a public school. And it was popular to be useless. It was popular to be dumb. It was popular to disrupt class. And so I feel like right now in Nigeria, it's popular to pop bottles, popular to waste money, popular to keep up with the Joneses, popular to lie, cheat, scratch, and crawl to the top at the expense of others and push others down. What people want to see is that you made it to the top. They don't care how you got there. They don't ask the questions how and why. There was a time where the how you got to where you are mattered the most. And if you got to that place with, unscrupulous tactics, you were ostracized. People will tell you, your father was this, your mother was this, that we don't respect you because of that. But now, name means nothing. Popularity means everything. And how you do it doesn't matter. But let me say that I feel like the same social media that was being used to showcase the extravagant wealth, or for those people to pretend they had extravagant wealth, on social media, is the same social media that is being used to almost reset that mindset. I wish, governments would just allow social media to just leave it, because without any interventions, without any social engineering, social media accelerates the natural course of cultural development. We can say that one time our culture was about humility, about, morality and things like that. And slowly it's become about money. The economy had changed the culture. Nigerian culture is about money, lavish, splash, spray, some better than bad, right? Don't mind me. But, you know, now I feel like things are changing. You can even see it. Like, people don't want to focus on who dresses the best now. Look at the whole autumn movement is about who dresses the worst. God forgive me. Yeah, so I mean, I just feel like people are now being more vocal. You have people like Burna Boy who are talking about the ills of society, which, Femi Kuti talked about it, and a lot of young people loved him, and a lot of people hated him, and a lot of people said that he was causing disorder and chaos in society. He was an anarchist. But sometimes you need people to disrupt and be able to call things out. And, so I feel like, you know, Niger Twitter, Niger Instagram, they're becoming a bit more woke in the sense that they are comfortable enough calling people out on the BS. The social media spread of the hush puppy issue, people asking questions about Obi Cubana. I don't know whether his money is legitimate or not, and it's not my business, but people are asking questions, how did you make your money? And so it may start in pop culture, but it's going to spread to politics. It's going to spread to public service. It's going to spread to civil servant. You're going to know that civil servant uncle or auntie that made crazy money in service. And you're going to ask, where did that money come from? And I hope that as people are ready to call people out and ready to ask questions and ready just to buck this whole being a, rich at all costs, at any cost, is no longer cool. But humble beginnings and real meaningful stories about how you got to where you got to, and people that can attest to your story, to your testimony, people that were there that know, not just these fables and fictitious stories. So I feel like, yeah, just leave social media alone. It will correct the system because things are moving so quickly on social media. Social media gets to fast track um, our viewpoints, and so one view will spread like fire, then another view will spread like fire, and so something that may have taken generations to evolve a concept or a thought process, Protestantism, how long did it take to spread? But when it comes to social media, it accelerates it so fast, and things gain traction. And so I feel like now social media is a tool to call out the hypocrisy, the BS, the adulteration of our culture, the misuse and abuse, um, and that fake life, And so I am kind of happy that I saw that people really used social media to, like, people use the same social media that people use to hail certain people. I think people are very much more conscious about saying, him when I grow up, and they're more likely to ask questions that, that's cool. But I mean, just have that skepticism of, okay, how? How did it happen? How did you get there? What did you do? What's your story? Before they now start to say, chairman, oh, big guy, um, I think that makes me feel a bit more optimistic about our country, and I think also because, guess what? The same social media that you use to perpetuate falsehoods is the same social media that people will use to push out the reality or the truth or their truth. There's that thing called receipts. Receipts. It's a powerful thing. And so, and I think it's also that the anonymity that social media sometimes brings can be bad because people abuse it, but it can also be good because whistleblowers can use it to speak truth to power. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Um, is it good to be bad in Nigeria? Are you people rewarded for being bad in Nigeria? Um, or is it now being good to be good? Is it now popular to call out rubbish and speak truth to power? Um, is it gaining traction? How could we use social media and how could we use that traction to start to reset the Nigerian culture? Um, and what is the Nigerian culture? What do you think? I want to know what you think. And I may spin off more YouTube videos based on some of your responses, just to kind of, um, expand on this conversation. And if I get a good enough following on YouTube, I may do some live streams for us to be able to debate back and forth on your thoughts about social media as a tool for just changing the narrative about our society and our culture. Um, it looks interesting, and I hope that there'll be more you know people will use it more to just kind of just reset things. So yeah, thanks. That's my YouTube video. Please, if you liked it, like my video and subscribe. Follow me on my social media handles, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.